Welcome to my channel. My name is Brittany and today we're doing a modern farmhouse. First off, I just want to say thank you for watching. Um, Please follow me on Twitter, and before we get into the build, just please make sure to subscribe and comment down below if you have any suggestions or questions. Anyway, getting into this build today, we are doing a modern farmhouse, and the inspiration for this farmhouse actually came from a Pinterest post or pin. I'm very new to Pinterest, so I'm not exactly sure what they're called, but I found it on Pinterest, and it was a nice little white like farmhouse, and it just like kind of reminded me of like that new traditional style that's very like bright and white and like more up to date and more modern, and I really like that, and I wanted to go ahead and you know, build that house. Now it's not exactly the same. I did do some changes, and I don't actually know what the back of the house looked like or what the inside of the house looked like. So there's obviously going to be like major changes, and obviously anything that you take from, you know, real life into The Sims, it's obviously not going to fit completely the same because The Sims has a very weird layout with their grid system, so you know, it's not going to be quite accurate. But if you guys do follow me on Twitter, you guys would have saw earlier this week that I did post the, you know, part of this, like a sneak peek of this build earlier this week, and I actually got a really great response from you guys. A lot of you guys liked it, and I'm so happy that you guys liked it, and I'm so excited to finally show you guys this speed build. So very excited. But if you would have saw the post, you would have saw the picture of the house that I'm referencing today. So if you guys want to see that, if you haven't seen it, definitely go on to my Twitter page at Bmxmathis X, and you should be able to find that Pinterest post. Anyway, getting back to the build, the one major change I made to the exterior of this build was the main focal point of the build, is what I like to say. The part right here in front of the house with the modern windows, and it's a big long stretch, and I eventually will put brick accents on it, so it'll be and then the rest of the house is going to be white panels, so just that part of the house is going to be that main focal point of the house, and I think it came out very beautiful. So I really liked it a lot. I love the result, the end result, and I'm really proud of the way that the exterior, the whole exterior, the landscaping, and the backyard, how it all came out, and I'm actually very proud that I incorporated that fake garage door that you're seeing right now. I'm very proud of myself for doing that. I worked very hard on the exterior of this house. The interior was a completely different story. I'm not a big fan of the interior of this house, but I did my best, you know. I tried my best, and but the floor plan was giving me such a hard time. I actually cut that out of the video because I ended up spending about, I would say about like an hour and a half, like in real time, trying to figure out what to do with the floor plan. Like I literally could not figure it out. I like realized like after I had finished the exterior of the house that once I went in to do the floor plan, I had made the house a little too narrow, and you'll kind of see like when I start like decorating the house, or you can kind of see right now what I'm talking about. The house is just a really long Oh god, it's so bad, but it's so elongated, and there's not a whole lot of room in there to make like the best floor plan. So I tried my best with the floor plan. I did make it an open floor plan, and I actually like the way it came out. And I tried to use some, like I said earlier, the new traditional style um, for the interior as well. There's still some modern elements, and you'll kind of like see like the house is not cluttered, or it's not welly like decorated. It's just, I feel like it I'd say it's kind of decent. I'm not the best at interior design or decorating, so I tried my best with the interior. Plus, like I said, I wasn't really working with the best floor plan, so that didn't really help my case. But anyway, other than that, anybody with, who is interested in this build and wants to download it, you guys are more than welcome to change up anything that you want on the inside. If you want to redecorate it, you totally can. I totally encourage it, and I would love to see some of the results actually. So if you do decide to download one of my builds to renovate it, please, 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 please tag me in your renovations, and I would love to like explore some of those renovations. And you can find all of my houses on the Sims Gallery. You can find it right now. This house should be up and uploaded right now. By the time you're watching this video, it should be up. I know that recently I haven't been uploading it on time. I just uploaded the last build today actually, so I'm so sorry about that. I just been so busy with my schedule. Things kind of just slip past me, and by the time I know it, like I'm like, oops, like, oh well. I can't really do anything about it past a certain point. So anyway, I do apologize, but I'm gonna try to be better at like uploading these things on time. I am still getting used to all of like all of the scheduling of like uploading videos and stuff, so it's kind of hard like when you're still new at it. Like I just discovered today the YouTube library. Like I didn't even know that YouTube had like an audio library full of like copyright free music, and I was like, whoa, where has this been? Where were you when I needed you before? But anyway, like I said, I'm still learning, so I'm really happy for those who have stuck around through that, and just know I'm still learning. And if anybody has any suggestion or advice or tips or whatever, let me know. Follow me on Twitter. We can talk there, and we'll get to know each other. And yeah. Anyway, getting back to this build, we're going through some landscaping right now, and I'm actually really proud of the landscaping. I kept it very simple, and I wanted to really incorporate these like those long trees. I don't know what you call them. They're like the long trees. Anyway, I kind of cut through the me putting down these rocks right here on the driveway, because like I didn't want to put you through the pain of watching me put every single rock down, because that's repetitive, if I'm being honest. So yeah, but I kept it very simple. I think I added two of these like trees, and I think they're from cats and dogs, and then I put some fencing, and I think that was about it. I kept it very, very simple, but I do love what I did with the circles and the driveway, and yeah, it's really, really pretty. I love it. I love the exterior of this house. This is like a dream house to me. This is like, I blew myself away. Not to toot my own horn, but I really enjoy the exterior of this house. Anyway, we're about to get into the interior here in a second, and you'll see me going and having the most rough time with the interior. I had a really hard time. Doing the interior literally took me about, I would say, like 3-4 hours in total. So I ended up cutting out a lot out of this video itself. I ended up cutting out all the bathrooms except for the master bath, and like I said earlier, cut out the floor planning and putting in the staircase. And so I hope that you guys enjoyed the interior, because like I said, I had the roughest time doing the interior. And I do apologize for the long video too, because I tried my best to at least try to get it under 40 minutes, and I hit the limit of like 40 minutes, so I'm so sorry. But I try to cut out as much as I could. Anyway, now we're doing the kitchen, and let me just say, this kitchen is a dream kitchen. This is my favorite part of the interior. Even though I said I struggled a lot, this would probably be the only room in the house that I actually really like, because it was the first thing that I built in the house, and it's what I basically, since it was an open floor plan, it's what I basically decorated the house around. So like, I really wanted to have a white kitchen with the white counters and the white cabinets, and I really like that. I did the double stacking on the cabinets to make them look like they had 3 shelves in them. I thought that was really neat. But I really enjoyed the way that this kitchen came out. It was just, and the rest of the house ended up being, you know, matching the kitchen, because it's an open floor plan and you want everything to kind of like flow evenly. So the rest of the house ended up being very white and light in color, beige, neutral colors, but still like old traditional furniture, if that makes sense. So it's very new traditional. As I was building the kitchen, I had forgotten, as you can see there to the right, that there is a garage, and that I was supposed to build a door going from the kitchen to the garage. I realized about midway through this build that I forgot to put a door into the garage, so I ended up going back and doing that later on in the video. So you'll see me actually go back and delete some cabinets and a counter to just put a doorway there, but it doesn't really change the kitchen a whole lot. Just you have one less cabinet and one less counter, but your Sims would definitely have tons of space. Now, the first time that I went ahead and playtested this, I totally forgot to put in a smoke detector, and my Sims kept trying to burn the house down every time that they cooked. And I was like, why do you keep burning down the house? I realized it's probably because I don't have a smoke detector in the house, so I went ahead and I put one in there. So don't worry, the build on the gallery does have a smoke detector in it. So and I definitely do go back and playtest everything, by the way, you guys. So I basically will go and make sure that all of the objects work, that all of like the kitchen objects work, that the bathrooms work, that your Sim can sleep in all the beds, that your Sim can sit everywhere, you know, things like that. So I did make sure and that everything in this house was functioning properly, and if it wasn't, I definitely tweaked it to make it sure that it was going to function properly. So there you go. Anyway, I wanted to make this house, by the way, with a family in mind that was really into like country music and really into music in general, and just really just into um, wanting to have like a big family, and wanting to like succeed in life, and wanting to be like, you know, successful creative musicians and things like that. So I actually fit in a cute little music room that I think that if you have a creative sim and you want them to get into like music or whatever, like this little room would be like perfect because it's so cute and it's so comfy. And I just like imagine like the entire family like sitting in there, sitting on the floor, because there's like carpets like laid out, and you know, like there's like little like places to sit in there, and there's like a little recording studio in there too, and a piano and a bunch of guitars. And I could just imagine the family that lives here would um, all gather in there, you know, in the afternoons or something, and just like jam out and have like a jam session. And I think that's so cute, just like have this little family like all jamming out together. Each one has like their own little guitar, like one of them plays the piano and the other one's singing, and like it's just so cute. I don't know, that's what I had in mind for this house. So for the rest of the build, I also included kids' rooms. Obviously, I included two kids' bedrooms, and then a master bath. So there's 3 bedrooms, and there's also 2 full bathrooms and a half bath downstairs. Um, like I said earlier, I did not include the bathrooms in this video because I wanted to cut down time for the voiceover and for this video in general. And if I would have left the bathrooms in, I would have probably had like a 50-minute video. So did not want to do that, so I went ahead and cut them out. Plus, they weren't really interesting anyway. I really didn't like the way the bathrooms came out, so I think I may have saved you on that one for sure. Here you can see me like fidgeting with the floor plan. I think this is the only time you'll ever see me like mess with the floor plan here, but I realized I didn't have any room for the living room, and this is where I actually decided to make the half bath downstairs and include the little music room that I was talking about earlier. So I originally wanted to make it like an office, but then I was like, no, that's so boring. Like I've made like offices in my other builds like recently, so I'm like, let's do a music room. I think that's super creative and fun, so I decided to do that. And then I also added a sunroom in the back here because I did not know what to do with this space at first, and I decided to just make it bigger. So that's what I did, and I added these really nice big old windows, and I was like, you know what, we'll just make it a nice little sunroom. I think I ended up putting some things for your Sims to do in there. So there's like a sitting area, and I think I put an easel in there, and a chess table. I put a chess table in there. So there's a lot of stuff in this house for your Sims to do, by the way. I mean, this house is also super decked out. I absolutely love making houses with a ton of activities for your Sims to do. It always allows them to be like super creative in a way. And personally, I love making creative Sims. Like, I'm addicted to making creative Sims. Like, I can't stop. Like, I don't know how to make a Sim that wants to go into business. Like, I rather make a Sim that wants to be like a musician or whatever. Like, I don't know. I just love creative Sims. So I love making sure that in all of my builds that I try to put a lot of activities for my Sims to do, so that way they can get their skills up and also get their fun up as well. Anyway, how has everyone's week's been? I feel like my week's been very long. This week was filled with so many crazy things. I had an exam and I aced it, so I stressed out about it so much, but I ended up acing it, so I'm really happy about that. But I want to know about y'all. Like, did y'all have a good week? I hope you guys did. And yeah, we're halfway through this video, by the way. Doing voiceovers, I'm gonna be honest, it's such a hard thing for me to do, especially having to do like 40-minute long voiceovers. I think it's very hard because it's just you have to like come up with what to say and have to describe everything you're doing in the video, and honestly for me that's so hard to do, so I'm so sorry if I tend to ramble about things, just because I just can't sit here and watch the video back and just describe everything that I'm doing, because I feel like it sounds so repetitive and I rather just talk about the main points of the build. But if you guys have any suggestions on what you guys would like to hear or see from me, please let me know down in the comments below. And you can always reach out to me on Twitter as well, and all of my information will be linked down below underneath this video in the video description. All of my social medias are down there, and then I will be planning, I'm still trying to figure out about my Twitch stream. The only issue that I have right now is that my internet's still kind of slow, so it's kind of hard for me to stream on Twitch, because if I open my game and I use, you know, the internet I have right now, even though I have it connected to an Ethernet cable, it still runs very, very slow and it lags my game, and I'm not able to really play like I would like to on Twitch. So I am trying to eventually invest in a desktop that will allow me to run The Sims 4 and the OBS system at the same time, so that way it's not like lagging it. It's just I don't think that my computer has enough processing power, so I'm not going to be able to Twitch for a while. I mean, I'm still gonna probably be twitching like other games other than The Sims 4. I mean, I'm trying to expand into some other things that's available to me. And I also have an Xbox, so I might, you know, stream some Xbox games every now and then. So we'll see where it goes. I'll keep you guys updated, but like I said previously in my other videos, if you guys want to keep updated with all of my recent events and things like that, please follow me on Twitter, because that's exactly where you're going to find all of my most recent updates. Anyway, moving on. We're now in the music room section. This is what I was talking about earlier, about how I wanted this family to be like a group of musicians, and like I said earlier, I really love this room. It's so cute and cozy, and I couldn't figure out what kind of couch I wanted to put here, but I think I ended up putting the one from Tiny Living. I am obsessed with that pack. Okay, I am obsessed with the furniture in that pack. I know that in the last like couple of builds I've literally used nothing but like tiny furniture living, and that's just because the pack, like their furniture is so pretty and cute, and I love it so much. So so that's what we ended up using there. I know for like this build in particular, I don't know if like the couch really matched this build in particular, because like I was trying to go for a new traditional style, but I don't know, I just kind of decided that this room really wasn't like going to follow the same style as the rest of the house, because it's just, as you can see, I'm putting a bunch of posters on the wall. It's kind of like all over the place, kind of messy. It's like where the rest of the house is like really clean and, you know, neat. This is like the one room that they get to hang out in and just be informal, I guess. You would say it's kind of like an informal hangout area too. So, but anyway, now we're moving on to the garage. The garage is it's not, I mean, it's not the greatest garage. I mean, I didn't put like a doorway to the outside. I mean, it's just a mock garage, because in The Sims 4 we really don't have actual garage doors. The door that I used, I think, was from Study and Living, I think. So I think it's the it's like the metal garage doors, I guess. I mean, I don't really know what their proper name is, but I think they're from the City Living pack, if I'm not mistaken. Um, but I mean, the garage on the inside, I mean, I didn't really clutter it. By the way, you guys, I know that my builds at the moment don't have a whole lot of clutter, and that's just because I don't have any of my custom content or modifications put into my game right now. So it's kind of hard for me to clutter my houses at the moment since I don't have my red shelf installed. I think because I haven't, I think it's because the last like recent update made or broke all of my modifications and all of my custom content, so I haven't re-uploaded any of my stuff yet. So hopefully in the next build I can show off that little red shelf and maybe show you guys how to use it. I don't know. If you guys want a tutorial, let me know. I can definitely show you guys how to use it, because it does come in handy when you really want to like clutter like a room or a shelf or whatever. It really does help, because raising and lowering items can only do so much. But anyway, we're finally, I think, moving on to the upstairs, and I kept the upstairs super simple. Like I said before, I didn't really clutter the rooms all that much. I pretty much kept them very nice and clean and neat. The kids' rooms, and hear me out. I know a lot of people like put a lot of clutter in their kids' rooms, and I don't really like to. But I figured that this family was kind of like the type of family to keep like their entire house like in order. And I decided to also like add some outside activities for the kids, so that way they were to play outside, so they wouldn't make a mess inside the house, I guess you would say. But yeah, that was kind of like my thought process on decorating for this family. And this build was also like taking me a really long time to do. So by the time that like I got to like the upstairs area, I really just wanted to like rush through it too. Which is probably why I didn't come out like the bestly decorated, I guess. I tried my best. I also was running out of time building this, and I knew I had to push it out by Friday, so I did my best. That's all I have to say. It's like I did my best. But anyway, I just kept all the rooms really simple. I think that I kept the hallway pretty much simple. I just ended up adding like a table for the hallway, and I put a plant on it, and that was about it. Put some carpets on there, called it a day. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for like the inside of the house. I mean, I don't really find the upstairs a whole like lot interesting. Like like I said earlier, am really proud of the exterior of this build, but not so proud of the interior. So I highly encourage people to please renovate this house. Please renovate the inside of it. I want to see somebody decorate this place way better than I did, because honestly I think this house has so much potential, and I honestly think that like somebody out there could do a lot better than I did on the inside of this house, because I feel so bad for it. It is such a beautiful home on the outside, but when you get into the inside, it's just like I said, kitchen is the only part I like about this build. On the inside, the outside of the house, like the pool area in the backyard, I actually found to be super cool and cute. I like the little sand pit I put in the backyard for the kids, and I thought that was a really good idea too, to go ahead and put that back there for them. So I just wish I could just I just wish that I took a little bit more time to decorate this house, and I probably should have, but I don't know, I just was not feeling this floor plan, and I think that's why I had such a hard time decorating this place, is because of the floor plan. So If I would have had like I spent a little bit more time on the floor plan. But listen, I had spent like almost like an hour and a half on the floor plan alone. So I was really getting super frustrated, and I was like, I just need to come up with something. So I just left it the way it was, and I wish I would have made more changes to it, to be honest. But you know, I may go back later on in the future and renovate this place. But like, I do highly encourage everybody to please renovate this house. Anyway, moving on to the kids' rooms finally. I made 2 kids' rooms. Of course, you can add, like, these rooms are pretty big for kids. I at least I think, like in The Sims, like these rooms are pretty big. You could add like way more kids to this house if you wanted to, but I just added 2 for now. So I added 2 kids' beds, and then there's a desk in one of them, because one of them I decided that I wanted them to be older. So yeah, so I wanted one of them to be older, and one of them to be a toddler. So one of them's an actual like probably like mid-child range, I guess. I don't. Oh my god, mid-child range. They're like, you know, they're older than a toddler. I don't know, a child. They're a child. Anyway, one of them's older, one of them's a toddler, and the older one's a girl, and the toddler is a boy. And yeah, I just, you know, personalize their rooms. I figured the girl would be really into animals. That's why she has a little turtle rug. She has all these cats and dogs posters, and she has a big old cat stuffed animal that she loves to play with. So that's, you know, the girl. And the little boy, I ended up keeping his stuff really simple. I really wasn't, I didn't really have an idea of what this child or toddler would be into, so I kept the room very plain. I just ended up adding a chest of for his toys and a big old teddy bear, and yeah, and that was about it. Anyway, so we're almost done with this speed build. We're almost to the end of the video. We got about we're at 32 minutes. So we got less than 10 minutes to go. So this is usually around the time of the voiceover where I start to say things that don't make any sense because I've officially have lost it at this point. I don't know if anybody else gets that feeling, or if anybody else like knows how I feel right now, but like when you do voiceovers that are this long, you just feel like I don't know, like, what do you do? I mean, how do you get through it? You know what I mean? But we're pushing through, Anyway, we're getting very close to going back out to do the finishing touches outside. And all there is to outside, I think I did add a like seating area to eat outside. I added a barbecue pit. I added a swing set. I added some planters for your Sims to go ahead and plant their own food if they wanted to. There's obviously a pool with some lounge chairs. So there's quite a lot of stuff in here. It's for your Sims to do. I do seem to like pack my houses with tons of activities. So and then I decided that this family was going to have pets, so I went ahead and added some pet stuff. I added some food bowls and also this cat hangout, or this cat tree in the sunroom. And I think that's around the time that I decided to go ahead and change the color on those seats in the sunroom, because it just didn't match the rest of the house, and I just felt like it just looked really odd with the blue, and I just didn't like it, so I went ahead and changed it. And then I decided to go ahead and start with the backyard, and here you'll see me actually building the sand pit, and I actually love the way it came out. It's so cute. I cannot wait for my Sim to have children so they can play in the sand pit. Like, I legit want to play in it myself. Like, the sand looks so soft, like I want to like play in it and make sandcastles so bad. And it's cool because like when your sim walks on it, like it makes little footsteps and it's so fucking adorable. So so yeah, I really enjoyed this little sand pit, and I thought that putting that little like little tree, I don't know what it's called, but it's like your toddlers can like climb on it and like play in it and stuff, and it looks like a little tree and it's so cute, and I decided to put that in the pit. And yeah, that's a little cute little hangout spot that your kids can go ahead and hang out in all day. And then these are the planters that I told you about. Your sim can go ahead and make whatever food, or if they want to plant flowers again, if they want to plant veggies, fruits, whatever. And then I just did some very simple landscaping out here, because I didn't want to like overdo it with the landscaping. I definitely already had put a lot of furniture out here already, so I didn't want to like make it too cramped with the landscaping, but I did add some bushes just to line the house, and that was it. But anyway, we are coming to the end of the video, so I am going to take my cue here and just go ahead and wrap up this video by saying thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate everybody who watches my videos. Thank you so much. And everybody who follows me on Twitter, also thank you so much for the support. I will be coming out with the next video next Friday. I might pull up another might put up another poll up on Twitter for my next build. I really liked that you guys engaged with me last week with this, and you guys ended up picking the farmhouse, so that's why we ended up doing the farmhouse. I probably forgot to mention that earlier today. That's why we ended up building this farmhouse, by the way. But anyway, talking about Twitter, don't forget to follow me on there. All of my recent updates will be on there. All of my information is down below, and if you have any questions, please let me know. If you have any suggestions, please let me know. And with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and see my way out. Okay, well, bye guys.